welcome to RT. I'm Karen Tararachi, starting your Saturday off here in Moscow. We go now to our top story. The rebel-free Syrian army is threatening to attack civilian airports in the country's biggest cities. The fighters say the government is using the hubs in Aleppo and Damascus for military planes. Let's now talk to Dr. Ali Mohammed, the editor-in-chief of independent website Syria Tribune, which has been monitoring the crisis since it started. Dr. Mohammed, thank you for joining us. So the Syrian opposition is warning foreigners not to use the airports in Damascus and Aleppo. Now, could these foreign planes come under attack from the opposition targeting the government aircraft?
First, there is no proof that they will only be targeting the government aircrafts. They said they will be targeting civilian aircrafts, and I don't think they have the means to distinguish which are government ones and which are not. The rebels saying that they are attacking civilian airports now is just one more step in revealing their actual terrorist nature, because it's against every law in the world to attack civilian airports for whatsoever reasons. And the fact that they are bragging about it shows that maybe they acquired anti-aircraft weapons from their supporting countries. And of course, when these weapons reach terrorists, you can always expect them to use them the wrong way.
Now, wouldn't targeting foreign aircraft lead to the rebels really losing the international support that they currently enjoy?
I'm actually surprised they are still enjoying this support. When the international community sees the rebels slaughtering people, civilian people in the street and throwing them from the roof and still support them, this gives the wrong message to the rebels that whatever they do, they will still enjoy this twisted support. The fact that they are still enjoying this support indicates a big problem, either in the media that shows what's happening in Syria or in the international community itself.
Now, Russia has again warned that they've warned foreign nations against pushing for regime change in Syria, and all the while urging the opposition to go on fighting. Let's listen to what Foreign Minister Lavrov had to say.
While fighting rages, it's just not realistic to only demand one side to capitulate. It's not about ideology. We're not clinging to a regime or a certain actor in the Syrian conflict. We're just talking here about what is realistic and what is not. But those who are demanding the government stop fighting while at the same time urging the armed opposition to continue the battle, these forces are ready to pay an extra price, which will be a huge number of human lives.
Dr. Mohammed, after listening to Lavrov's words there, just how critical are foreign powers' support to the rebels in terms of continuing the conflict?
It's very critical. I think the only reason the rebels are still fighting until today is because they enjoy this logistic, weapon, and financial support from many countries. And what Mr. Lavrov said is very important. How can you ask a national army in any country in the world to stop fighting rebels that you recognize the existence? And since they are there, what do you expect the army to do? And if you really care for the welfare of the Syrian people, the minimum you should do is ask both sides to stop fighting.
Now, there have been allegations that nations like Saudi Arabia and Qatar are supplying the Syrian opposition with anti-aircraft missiles. Just how heavily armed would you say is the Free Syrian Army at the moment?
At the moment, the Free Syrian Army is not heavily armed well enough to win any battle against the Syrian army, the Syrian official army, just like what has been happening in the past months. But it is definitely heavily armed enough to harm civilians and to endanger the lives of many Syrian people. The fact that these countries keep sending money and weapons and also what they call logistic support or means of communication, which are used mainly to broadcast atrocities they commit against civilians, and while these countries know this is no match for the Syrian army, it poses a very serious question. What exactly do they want by sending these weapons?
And now, very briefly, because we are running out of time, I do want to get this last question in. Turkey and its Western allies are now pushing for foreign protected safe zones inside Syria. It's a move that would certainly amount to foreign intervention. Now, Ankara says it needs to protect civilians. What's your take on that?
it's actually funny. How can you protect civilians by imposing war? You want to protect civilians, you have to stop war, and stopping war starts with stopping the influx of weapons and money to the rebels. And the fact that they are thinking of a safe zone is a big fake. I'm sorry, a big media fake tactic, because you cannot start war and end up protecting civilians.
All right, Dr. Ali Mohammed, the editor-in-chief of independent website Syria Tribune, thank you for your time.